Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. The editorial I have today is not very sensational, not very interesting, nothing to do much with politics. The editorial that I have today is a point of view that I'm making, I'm putting in front of you, and I would like you to react. I would like you to participate in this discussion, and let's discuss it. You see, there's a judge called Justice Chitta Ranjan Dash. He was a High Court judge in Calcutta. On his retirement speech, he said, listen, you know what, I am an RSS member and I am proud to be one. Now that started a debate. The thing is, can a judge be part of an organization or claim to be part of an organization like the RSS, which is a right-wing organization, which has very strong ideologies, which has very strong do's and don'ts? Is it fair that a judge is part of an organization like that? Or does a judge doesn't have the right to have an ideology? Is that how it works? Can't a judge have an ideology? Doesn't he go and vote? So, galat kya hai usme? Let's discuss this point. Let's look threadbare. Let's look at both sides of the coin, and like always, you decide what is right and what is wrong. Let's get right into the show. So, Justice Chitta Ranjan Dash, as he is called, on his farewell speech said that to the distaste of some persons, I may admit here that I was and I am a member of RSS. So he knows it could cause a lot of distaste amongst a lot of people listening to him. Yet he says, I am telling you, I was and I am a member of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha. He goes on to say, I owe a lot to the organization. I am there from my childhood and throughout my youth. I have learned to be courageous, upright, and have equal views for others and above sense of patriotism and commitment to work, he says. Justice Dash said, I have never used my membership of the organization for any advancement of my career because it is against its principles. He went on to say that all are equal before me. I do not hold any bias for anyone or for any political philosophy or mechanism. He went on to say that he is ready to go back to the organization if they call him for any assistance or any work that they need, which he is capable of doing. Because he says, I have not done anything wrong in my life. I have the courage to say I belong to an organization because that is not wrong. All the statements he made. Now, to ask the million-dollar question. Was this judge right? Is it fair for this judge to be part of an organization that has got very strong belief, that has got very strong belief of a particular religion, a supremacy of a particular religion in this particular land? An organization that believes in supremacy of a particular culture in this particular land. He belongs to that organization. Is it fair? He is a judge. He is supposed to be unbiased. He says he is unbiased. But does that actually, how does one believe that he was unbiased? So is it fair? Now, let us see what the government says, what the rule book says. According to a restatement of values of judicial life published on 7th May 1997, according to this statement, justice may not merely be done, but it must be seen to be done. Justice must not just merely be done. The others who are seeing it also should see that it is being done. This is the first statement that this copy of values for judicial life says. It goes on to say that the behavior and conduct of members of the higher judiciary must reaffirm the people's faith in the impartiality of judiciary. Accordingly, any act of a judge of the Supreme Court or a High Court, whether in official or personal capacity, which erodes the credibility of this perception, has to be avoided. It goes on to say that close association with individual members of the bar, particularly those who practice in same court, shall be eschewed. Eschewed matlab avoided. So all this, there are at least some 16 different values of judicial life. 16 different values. The first thing it says that, Baba, when you do justice, it should be seen that you are doing justice. It's not just doing justice. Even people should know that justice is being done. That's how justice should be done. And the most important thing is you should be unbiased. You should be seen unbiased. You should be unbiased. You should not involve yourself in anything where you are seen as biased. Now the point is, if I am going to associate myself with an organization that believes, like I told you, in cultural and religious supremacy, will I be seen as unbiased by a person of the other religion? So, if I am judging a Muslim versus a Hindu, do you think if the Muslim is aware of the fact that I am part of RSS, would he be trusting my judgment? Would he be trusting my judgment? Would that Muslim gentleman, Justice Dash's judgment, would he do that? Or would he believe that, arey, this man is from RSS? So doesn't that break the first philosophy, the first values of judicial life? Where you say that you should not be indulging or you should be seen as unbiased? Doesn't that break the first tenet? Fair enough. Then you will ask, कि भैया ऐसा है तो क्या? A judge cannot have his own life? मतलब क्या? A judge cannot go and join a cultural organization that he believes in? A judge cannot have an ideology? Of course a judge can have an ideology. The point that I am trying to make is that this is my opinion and I am urging you to write yours. My opinion is that as much as the judge has the right to have or to practice his ideology, the judge should make it open to both the accused and the petitioner that, listen, I belong to this ideology. He should not be talking about this on the end of the last day of his career, on his retirement day. You know, all this while I was with RSS, Baba, I am telling you, very good organization. I am very happy with this organization. It taught me commitment, patriotism and all of that. Not on the last day. Imagine a Muslim, who he must have put behind bars. What is he thinking? Would he be thinking that the justice has been done to him? Would he think that this judge who put me behind bars has been unbiased? I am not getting into the case. I am not saying whether he was biased or unbiased, but would he be thinking that way? Would that accused be thinking that way? Is that fair? Is that fair? And how would a normal man, me, normal lay person, wouldn't I have a doubt saying that, oh, this man is from RSS and this man is a Muslim, so he was being put behind bars? Would that be? It may be right, it may be wrong. Like I am saying, please take it as an argument. It may be right, it may be wrong, but am I wrong in thinking that? If I am not wrong in thinking that, then where is this unbiasedness? Where is this first tenet? The behavior and conduct of the member of the higher judiciary must reaffirm the people's faith in the impartiality of the judiciary. Accordingly, any act of a judge of the Supreme Court or a High Court, whether in official or personal capacity, which erodes the credibility of this perception, has to be avoided. This is what the judicial life values say. Aren't you breaching that? Clearly breaching that. The point that I am trying to make is, shouldn't the judge, this judge for instance, shouldn't he have made it clear from the day one? He is so proud of being in RSS and he knows that a lot of people may find it distasteful. He knows it. So it is not that he didn't know. Oops, I didn't know that you would not like if I am RSS. Aisa kuch nahi hai. He knew it. So shouldn't he be making this point very clear to every person who is standing in front of him? Who is supposed to be judged by him? Who is in his court? And say that, Baba, listen, I am RSS. Mangta hai kya? Khade re. Nahi to ja. Koi aur recluse me. Isn't that fair? Does the judge have rights? The petitioner and the accused doesn't? Have we reduced to that as a country? Only judge can decide RSS hone ka ki nahi hone ka. Petitioner baad mein gaya. There are no rights in the court. Is that how it works? You see, a few months back, I think a year back, there was another justice, Gauri Victoria. She had spoken about white terror, that is Christians, white terror and green terror and all that. She had spoken her mind out, and the Chief Justice had said that, you know what, it's her personal view before she became a judge. Are, wouldn't she carry that even in the judge's chair? How do I know she wouldn't? I don't think that this judge is unbiased. So do I not have the right to ask for a new judge because I don't think this judge is unbiased? I'm a citizen of this country. So what? When I come to the court, I have no rights? Or judiciary, is it? They're gods? They decide everything? Is that how it works? So this is the point I want you to ruminate, I want you to think and write down. Also, the fact is, what are we talking about? You see, we have Justice A.M. Khanvilkar. Justice A.M. Khanvilkar was the same person who reinstated ED's power. That was possibly his last judgment, and now after retirement, of course, he became the new chairperson of the Lokpal. So he was given a post-retirement job. And he was the one who, like I told you, who took decisions on UAPA, PMLA, so everything that possibly is now helping the government. Possibly helping a lot of Arvind Kejriwals and Manish Sisodias to be behind bars. He was one of the people who took that decision. He could have corrected it, he could have changed it. Possibly he could have reviewed it, but he didn't. And he became a Lokpal. Now, whether he did it for that or not, I don't know, but I feel this way as a citizen of this country. I feel that he wanted to be the chairperson of Lokpal. The government gave him the chair of Lokpal. So he benefited, or he helped the government to let the laws be the way it is.
I think this whole temptation of continuing to occupy a Lithian's bungalow is a very serious temptation. And therefore, kindly review that unless it's absolutely essential, either some of these tribunals must be subsumed into the judicial setup, pay the judges who have retired and retired judges a pension equal to their last drawn pay. Because the danger is greater, the desire of a post-retirement job influences pre-retirement judgments. It's a threat to the independence of judiciary. And once it influences pre-retirement judgments, it adversely impacts on the functioning of our judiciary itself.
Quid pro quo. This is what I believe. Am I wrong in believing it? Or because of the fear of judiciary and contempt of court and all, I should be quiet and not talk about it? Just suffer and say, okay, theek hai, jo bhi hua. Is that how it's supposed to be? I do not know. I want to ask. There is one person who quits and joins Bharatiya Janata Party and abuses TMC. So all his career, the cases that TMC brought in front of him, how do we know that he has been fair to the TMC cases? Another judge who says that all this life I was very much with RSS and I'm proud of that. On the last day he says that. How do we know that he was fair with every person who came in front of him? Another judge who became a Lokpal chairperson and was the person who judged PMLA and UAPA and all of that. And we know what are those cases. I've done an entire editorial. Please have a look at it. You have one man who sat on his own sexual assault case, sexual harassment case, and he exonerated himself. And then he became MP, Rajya Sabha. Go guy. So it is not that it is happening now. It has happened before also. Indian judiciary has seen this before also. Like I always say, it only grows. In 1962, there was a justice called Justice Baharul Islam, who was a congressman, who fought election, who became a member of Rajya Sabha. He resigned Rajya Sabha in 1972 and he became the High Court judge of Guwahati in 1972. He resigned from High Court judge of Guwahati and then he again fought for elections. He again went into active politics. Again after that he became the Supreme Court judge in 1980 and in 1983 he resigned and again went into active politics. So this also has happened. You get into a party, resign, be a judge, then resign, then be... This has happened before too. The point that I am trying to make is this fair to the people who this man is judging? Where is this respect of judiciary? Where is this reverence of judiciary going? I ask the Chief Justice of India to answer. You are the North Star. People look at you for justice. People look at you for direction. The country looks at you for direction. And these are the kind of directions that we get. So wavered. Politicians are deteriorating. Executive is deteriorating. And so are judges. What is left? That's the point I wanted to make today. Think about it. These are topics that may not be sensational, like I said. These are topics that may not, be entertaining to you. It may not be, very fun to listen to and all that. But these are things that are finally going to affect your life. These are things that's going to make a difference to your life, your future. It is important that you comment on these topics, these matters. It's important that you share these matters with people you love, people you care about. It's important, first and foremost, that you are completely aware of these matters. Research on these particular topics. Be aware of it. Because only awareness will give you empowerment. And believe me, there is nobody to guard your back now. As we are progressing in life, we are almost becoming a loner. We are all alone. If you don't guard your back, nobody will. Be aware of all these topics. That's the point I want to make today. Till I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.